How's it, everybody? And aloha, and welcome back to Uncle Junior's DIY and any kind of stuff. You know, in the last video, Uncle left off with the two strips that I had cut out. That was to make the backsplashes for the countertop. We're going to continue from there. However, today we're going to do something different. I'm going to show you the finished product because Uncle finished the job already. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to make sure that for those who ever work with Formica, probably wouldn't want to watch the video because you already know how. But for those who want to learn more about Formica and how to cut it, how to use it, it's very educational, and you can get a lot of ideas from learning how to use Formica. Because you can make anything out of Formica. You can make bookshelves, cabinet doors, ideas are endless. And just a quick note, guys, I didn't video the part that I made new cabinet doors for the sink base. But I did, and I used maple birch boards, as you can see, and cut out the doors and prime and painted it and installed it. So anyway, I'm going to show you what it looks like now, and it's Aloha Friday, like I said, and wishing you guys all a nice and fun weekend. And then I'll see you in my next video, and if you like my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, okay? So aloha, everybody, and have a great weekend, and I appreciate you watching. Aloha. Okay, so we're going to take those two strips that I made, and we're going to miter each end at 45-degree angles. We're going to make the backsplash for the right side of the countertop. We're going to take those cut pieces and we're going to do a dry fit on the countertop. And here you want to make any minor trim adjustments if needed. It looks good, and I don't think I need any trim adjustments. Now we're going to take these pieces and lay some Formica on the top of those edges. See on the top? So we're going to sand them down first. Okay? So we're going to lightly sand them down, get them all smooth and level. So now we're going to cut some Formica sheets to cover the top of those backsplash that we just sanded. And I'm just scoring it. I'm using a razor blade and scoring right down the middle. It doesn't matter what side, just as long as it's enough to overhang the top of that backsplash. And right here, I'm just snapping it in piece. Snapping the Formica in piece because it was scored with my razor blade. You know, you can use shears, cutters, whatever. Yeah, it'll work. Now we're gonna take those sheets and lay some contact cement on them. It doesn't matter which contact cement you use. You can use the 3M, the DAP. They all work the same. Right here, I'm just going to roll it on. And previously, I already did the ones for the top of the backsplash. I kind of just missed that video. So I'm showing you the ones that I'm going to use for the island, the edge of the islands. But same procedure. But you're going to lay at least a couple coats of this and let it dry. And here it is. And just make sure that when you lay in a contact cement, you're going 2 coats. Make sure between coats it's completely dry to touch, okay? And the same way you're going to wait till it's completely dry before you attach it. And here we're just going to start routing. I'm going to route all those pieces smooth, and I'm going to show you how to finish it up. Okay, so here it is. We did a dry fit, and it looks good. So I'm going to use some power grabber and secure it to the wall. And I think it'll be good. Now we're going to work on that small countertop that sits next to the stove. And I've attached some studs just to level off the countertop. And then we're going to take this countertop, and we still have to put the edges on. So right here I'm just putting some extra supports at the end of the countertop, because we're going to attach the matching Formica sheet at the edge of both sides of that countertop. Here's the matching edging, Formica sheet strips for the edging of the countertop for both sides. Before we attach it, we're going to lightly sand both sides, get it nice and smooth. You can purchase these ends when you purchase the countertop, because it comes, well, it doesn't come with it. You have to purchase it separately, but it does come pre-cut. You're still going to have to route the edges though. Okay, so for this application, we're going to use an iron. You're going to need your iron. So you're going to place it on the edge of the countertop, and you're going to have that iron on high heat. You're going to lightly just run it over. You're just trying to melt the glue to attach it to the edge of the countertop. Make sure it's super hot, and that's how it's applied, just by heat. Then after, I'll just grab a rag and lightly run it over the whole edge. It's kind of cooling off now, so I'm gonna take out some air bubbles. And you can use a iron roller. A lot of people use iron rollers, but Uncle just prefer this way, and it works for me. And she gonna stay forever, trust me. So now we got the edges all secured. It's time to start routing and getting dirty. Here we go. So after your first pass, you're gonna have to stop and clean up all this debris. That's caused by the shavings that get stuck with the glue. So what Uncle do is I get a razor blade and I lightly run over those shavings and clean them up. And then once you get them all cleaned up, you can go back and do a second pass at routing. That way, you get a smoother and closer edge. And a lot of people like to use files. I tried it. It's okay. I'm so used to using 320 grit sandpaper, very fine sandpaper, and I lightly take off all the extra shavings, some of the high points. And then when that's all done, you're gonna go one more pass at it and do the same thing, sand them all down, and then you're done. And now we're ready to install. And we're almost home, guys. We're almost home. So let's install a small countertop and work on the island. So here's how we're going to install this countertop. Make sure it's all leveled. And then we're going to go underneath and secure it with those extra studs that I placed previously before putting the countertop on. And here it is. See all those studs? We're going to screw the countertop down through those studs and secure it tight. And that's it. And that's what it looks like. And now let's go ahead and start working on the island. I've already stripped off all the old Formica and sanded down that whole countertop to make sure it was flat as possible. You don't want any pits on the countertops. And here I already cut the strips out and just doing a dry fit at the edge of this countertop. And we're going to do the other side to make sure that I got the right length, because once we start laying the glue down, there's no room for error for this. Here I cut the top sheet and doing a dry fit. I actually cut the sheet bigger. As you know, you got to have some overhang, at least ½ inch or even more. So I'm just doing a dry fit to make sure that when I lay it down, I have enough edging to trim off. Then I'm just actually wiping down the surface of the countertop to make sure there's no small particles that might be in the way when you're laying the Formica down. You don't want any things protruding from underneath. And here I'm just laying the glue on the sheet, the Formica sheet, and I'm going to do the same with the countertop. Okay, let it dry to the touch, and you're going to lay another coat on it, so 2 coats. Okay, do the same thing to the countertop. You're going to lay 2 coats on the countertop. And when it's all done, just let it dry to the touch, and you can start laying the pieces. Here we go. Let's start laying the edging. Like I said, I already had it dry fit, so everything should work out just fine. But at this stage, gang, just a reminder to be very patient, because we already laid the glue on both sides, and if you're not patient and you make a mistake, man, it's gonna take you a long time to get that thing off and then start all over again. Okay, so just be patient and follow the directions and you'll be fine. Here I'm just going to use a piece of block with some rag over it and apply a strong pressure to it and start rubbing away. You know, you can use a metal roller. A lot of people use metal rollers, but you know, the whole purpose is you know, just use what you got, because it's going to work out to be the same result as if you was using a metal roller. So yeah, Uncle just prefer using a wooden block at this time with a rag and applying pressure. Now we're going to start laying the top sheet. And again, be careful, you need a wooden dowels, okay, because you don't want the sheet to touch the countertop, because once it touches the countertop, you're done. I mean, you gotta take that whole piece off again. So you want to use wooden dowels. As you can see, I use a small sheet of plywood also. And here I'm trying to make sure I line up all the sides, left, front, the back. You know, I need some overhang allowance for trimming. So be patient again, yeah, gang. Just be patient and make sure you get it all perfectly lined up before you actually start taking out those wooden dowels. So once you feel like you got the perfect measurements, overhang, then you start pressing down that edge. You start from one edge, and then you slowly start removing the first dowel. And be careful, take your time, and then you put some slight pressure on the place where you remove that wooden dowel. I just stick in that right at the end just to make sure I get extra protection. I'm going to take out the big piece, and again, same procedure, slowly, and then you're going to lay some pressure with your hand just to get it secure to the top of the countertop. We're almost to the end, gang, so hang in there, okay? Again, I'm being very patient. Just gonna stick that right underneath the Romex cable. If you remember, there's a electrical outlet there, so I'm trying to get that Formica sheet right under that Romex cable. Here comes out the last two wooden dowels, and then we're almost home. Flatten everything out, get my rag, my wooden plank and my rag, and just apply a lot of pressure. Allow a lot of pressure to the entire surface of the top countertop. Rocking it back and forth. Make sure to take out all the air bubbles. We'll do the same for the front and the back. Put a lot of pressure. And we'll go sideways too. And then you're good to go and you can start trimming. So now the router cannot reach to the end, and it always leave at least 1.5 inches of the overhang. So just get a side cutter, you know, one of those wire cutters. It's a side cutter, and just snip away. Get as close as you can with those cutters, and then you go with 100 grit sandpaper, and then you start sanding them down even as possible. And here again, like I said, your first pass, you're gonna have to clean up all those debris. See how much debris the thing got, and it gets stuck to the glue. You know, when you're using a router and shaving, the heat actually makes it stick to the table. So you want to dig all that out, because the flush router bit will pick up some of the bumps, and you don't want that. So clean them up real good. You can also use mineral spirits to clean up all the glue. Take off the glue from the edge, the leftover residue. You can use that. And here I am again with the 320 grit sandpaper, and then I'm just trying to get it all cleaned up before I go to another pass. When it's all done, you should have a clean edge, just like this. And like I said before, gang, all of the, you can see some slight marks on them. That's all from the glue and my marking. So you can actually get some mineral spirits and clean them all up. And here I'm attaching the new electrical outlet. I decided to make a new backsplash because if you know, the old one pretty much looked like this actually. I didn't like the look, so I tore it apart and made a standard backsplash. So we're gonna measure it up and then cut them all up and attach it. And here's that power grabber again. It's an all-purpose glue. Uncle like this stuff, man. If you want something to stay, use a power grabber. I mean, she'll stay forever, trust me. So anyway, we're gonna lay some of that in the back and then just secure it to the wall panel. And we're all done, gang. All completed. But that was a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun too. So hopefully you learned a lot, and let's go look at the final product.